I'm Eric McNulty, and for some time now, I've been looking at how leaders need to think differently about a changing world. I think the relative stability of the post-World War II era is giving way to something else, a period of relative turbulence and disruption. Why do I think that? There are 4 meta trends I've been following. The trend line for each of these is clear. They're global in nature. Even though the specific impacts aren't yet revealed in totality, we can see the general outlines of what's coming. The first of these is climate change. We're seeing more extreme weather events, sea level rise. These are the obvious bits of evidence. What's also going to happen with climate change is greater food and water insecurity for large parts of the planet. That's going to drive forced migration, which in turn could drive geopolitical unrest, and lots of consequences can unfold from that. The second of these is global urbanization. It's particularly concentrated in the developing world. We are seeing lots of people in urban areas growing really quickly without a traditional healthcare or public health infrastructure, without the usual governance principles in place, and without a lot of design. These are places I call cities of desire. They're driven by both aspiration and desperation as people come to the city looking for a better life. However, those tight conglomerations of people without that infrastructure are ripe for infectious disease outbreaks. They're ripe for unrest. Again, the consequences could cascade farther beyond the immediate geographic area. The third trend are aging populations, particularly in the global north. Europe, followed by North America and China, is seeing its populations age. They're more fragile to the effects of things like climate change and global unrest. Meanwhile, the youth on the planet are concentrated in the global south, where there are fewer resources and less opportunity. That also is a recipe for unrest and very combustible mix. We've got to watch out for that. And fourth is greater interconnectedness. Whether through travel, trade, or technology, our networks are becoming more tightly interconnected. What happens on one side of the globe can have an impact on the other side of the globe almost instantly. It's the butterfly effect on steroids. Transparency is ubiquitous now, giving leaders less time to respond, to understand what's going on before they have to jump into action. These 4 things are interdependent and interconnected. They're happening synchronously. So don't look at them in isolation, look at them together. Now, what do you do about this as a leader? The first thing is understand these 4 trends are going to unfold whether you like it or not. You can't do much about it, but you can prepare. Use them as lenses for your organization and what you do on your markets, on your supply chains, your company operations. See how they may have an impact on what's coming next. Second, focus on usefulness in your business. What problems are you actually solving for your customers? That's not a new idea, but in the years ahead, people are going to demand more, as are governments and regulators, that you're actually solving tangible problems. You're making life better, healthier, more promising for more people. Then figure out how to do that profitably. Profits will follow if you do it well. Finally, plan for multiple futures. In the past, it was acceptable to have plan A and maybe plan B you went to if you absolutely had to. Now every organization needs a plan A, B, C, and D. You're going to be looking for the faint signs on the horizon that indicate which of those plans is most applicable. What are you going to do? You have to get much better at forecasting. That's different than planning. You're going to be anticipating what's going to happen and make sure that you've built the capacity in your organization to adapt to whatever reality is unfolding. So as leaders, take these trends seriously. Climate change, urbanization, aging populations, and greater interconnectedness. Understand how they're going to affect your organization and all of your stakeholders. If you do those things, take appropriate action to plan and prepare, begin to forecast, you'll be ready to lead into a more uncertain future.